probably know that I'm a big fan of Easter eggs in Apex Legends, and I've just gone back through all of the ones that have appeared in the game, and there have been a lot. Now, there's only 14 Easter eggs that on the top of my head that I can remember that are still in the game. So I'm going to talk about all of those and show you where they are today in this video, and then maybe in the future I could do a video showing all of the Easter eggs and season teasers that were sort of put in the game temporarily. But either way, let's get into the 14 Easter eggs I know of in the game right now that you can go and check out yourself. So we'll start with the Nessy Easter Egg on Kings Canyon. What you had to do was shoot a bunch of Nessie dolls in a very specific order, and if you managed to do it, then a giant Nessie doll would appear in the water to the east of the map. Now this is really hard to do solo. Usually you need to get together with a couple people or at least a duo to do it. You can still do it in the latest Kings Canyon map change. The Nessies are still there, and both Zeus and Back of My Janks proved that it's still possible recently. I've done it a couple of times myself in the past with previous maps too, so it's definitely a fun adventure you can do with your friends, and there's plenty of resources online. I'll definitely suggest watching Zeus's and Janks' latest video if you want to learn the latest locations for the Nessie dolls. Next one, we have this little puppy Plush doll Easter egg in the firing range. Now this was sort of a memorial for Jason McCord's dog. It was put here as a way to just pay respects to this dog, and as we go through this list you'll see there's actually more just like this. So yeah, a cute little plushie doll. It doesn't have any meaning like the other Nessie dolls, and don't shoot it please. This next one I haven't officially included in this list because I feel like it kind of ties in with the Nessie doll on Kings Canyon, but there are a bunch of Nessies hidden in the firing range as well, and you can have a little look around to find them. There's one up on the bones, there's one on this small platform, there's a few hidden around too. You cannot do anything with these, they're just hidden there. For some reason, since Titanfall, the Respawn developers have had this thing with hiding Nessies in plain sight. And if you go and watch all of the stories from the Outland cinematics, you'll actually see Nessies hidden in sight as well. Every single trailer has a Nessie doll hidden somewhere. So if you want to try and spot them all, you can go and watch them now. Next, we have a very small Easter egg next. This area in World's Edge is called Uncharted Territory. Now, it was confirmed by Rodney Reese that this was a small throwback to a previous game he worked on, the Uncharted series. So yeah, a very small throwback there, but it just shows that kind of put in tons of Easter eggs and references all over. In fact, there are dozens of references. Just go through any banner frame, skin name, or anything, or even some voice lines that are hidden references, and you can learn more about that in a previous video I made, but they're not direct Easter eggs, so we're going to stick with this 14 I think, which are in my opinion real proper Easter eggs. Next we have the Yuki puppy shrine. Now this one was so crazy. So this whole thing went on for a long time where people were finding tons of pictures of dogs in World's Edge, and we didn't know what they meant, but it turns out that all of these dogs were hidden, and if you drew a line on the map they would lead us to this shrine of 3 dog pictures. And actually what happened is we found the shrine first, and that was the hidden part of the Easter egg. That was the exciting reveal, but we did it backwards basically. The community found all of the other Easter egg pictures. There was some in the vaults, there's some in buildings in Capital City. They're just all over the place. Now this dog is Rodney Reese's dog, and unfortunately this dog did pass away. It's a super cute puppy called Yuki, and Rodney Reese wanted to kind of, create a living memorial of this dog in the game. So you can go and show your respects to this dog yourself by looking at this puppy shrine as well. Next we have a very small one. It's an Easter egg put in by Manny Alavi, one of the writers for Apex Legends, who also wrote the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order story. Now this here is a small hint at one of the characters called Grizz in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Obviously, the lore doesn't connect them together, but it's just a small throwback to that story as well. Grizz is this guy who also really loves eating food, and it's just like kind of a comical moment, just like how Mirage is always talking about pork chops. Okay, now we're getting into really exciting Easter egg territory. There was a hunt for a long time. The developers told us that there was an Easter egg hiding in the firing range, and nobody knew what it was. And they kind of gave us some hints over time. Developer Ramy Vincent teased us all and gave us loads of hints on Twitter, but nobody could figure out what it was. I personally spent hours trying to look for it. I know so many other people did as well, but it was finally found. You could go into this room, crouch, drop all of your weapons, look directly down at the ground in this exact spot, and change your legend, and you'd hear this sound. And once you did this, you could go down to the firing range area, and the dummies had come alive and they started to shoot you. This is actually a really great way to practice your aim and movement in the firing range, and as you can see, it's very easy to activate. Now, of course, everybody thought that that was it. You know, people thought, okay, that was the firing range Easter egg, but it turned out there was another spot on the map where you could do the exact same thing, and somebody found it. And when you did this, it turned your camera into third person mode. Of course, this was a tease for the third person mode that came in Grand Soiree, but it's fun if you want to go and check out your characters' designs from third person or get a feel for how movement works. Then you need to go in this very top corner, once again look directly at the ground, crouch, and change your legend with nothing equipped, and you will be activated into third person mode. If you ever want to cancel it, you can just go to the spot and do it again, or just leave the server and rejoin. The street names in Capital City, or now Fragment, are also small Easter eggs. The developers actually love to put little hints at each other in the game. This here is a kind of signpost that has the name of two different streets, Manny and Alavi Street. Now these are both writers for the game. They've just put their names in there. You can see the stuff all over the place if you keep your eyes peeled. We now have 3 Easter eggs for you lore fiends out there. If you want to learn more about Wraith's lore and how she was actually the one responsible for turning her into Wraith, then you need to go into Wraith's labs and kick down this door. Once you do that, you'll find an audio tape which tells of Wraith's story about how she got funding from the Ares division to run an experiment to find out if there were other dimensions. It went terribly wrong, and Wraith's partner in this project kind of turned on her and continued the experiments to a point where she just lost all her memory and had a really traumatic experience. Now, if that wasn't sad enough for you, there's an even sadder story hiding in World's Edge for Mirage. Now, this little Easter egg is hidden under the Mirage Voyage in a little rock. There is a phone that belongs to Mirage, and if you activate it, you'll hear a voice recording Mirage that was recorded to Mirage's mother. Now, Mirage's mother is losing her memory, and I'll just play the voice line. It's really sad.
Hey, well, isn't it the most beautiful woman in the world? I mean, I gotta get my good looks from somewhere. How you doing, Mom? I'm perfect, as usual. Hey, get this. They asked me to take over the games for a bit during the holidays. It makes sense, you know, I mean, give the fine people of the Outlands what they want, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Mom. Yeah, I'm your son. Elliot. Yeah, of course, don't worry. I'll win for you today, always for my #1 fan. Yeah, you go enjoy your pork chops. I know they're your favorite. I'm gonna go win the chance. I'm gonna go be the best. All right. Love you, Mom. Bye. What is REC? I don't know. How long has this been recording?
Now, thankfully, there are some voice lines in the game that are a little bit more lighthearted. If you know Crypto's story, then you'll know that his sister has gone missing, but we thought that she was dead. However, there are now audio tapes that you can play by going into the bunker and going through this very small area with only Crypto's drone. Only Crypto's drone can go through here. You activate this screen and you'll play a message from Mila, Crypto's sister. She's still alive somewhere out there, which is really, really cool. There are 3 messages in total across these 3 bunkers. Now, at the time of recording, there are only 2 messages available because one of the bunkers is still closed, so we don't really know what the mystery will be behind this, if it will be resolved or if it's just teasing future story stuff. But at least right now, we do know that there's definitely some more ongoing story about to happen between Crypto and his sister. Next, we have a couple of Easter eggs that I think are pretty cool. Now, there are some rare animations in the game, but these 2 are different. One is so rare that I spent a long time trying to do it myself. I know a lot of people have spent hours trying to do it. Essentially, with Mirage's heirloom, if you melee, occasionally, or very, very rarely at least, you'll get a pork chop animation, which is just insane that they actually decided to create a pork chop model just for this one animation. I just love that. It's so awesome. Now, there's another one with Mirage's heirloom. When you use the heirloom, it actually changes Mirage's player model a little bit. When you have the heirloom, the goggles are always down when you're running around. People have noted that the goggles do go down when you're skydiving, but when you have this heirloom equipped, any Mirage player model that has the goggles will have them down, which is just such a small, subtle thing that they wouldn't have told you about until we figured it out ourselves. Now, finally, we have this very small Easter egg. The Mastiff Legendary skins kind of have this game design. It's meant to look like a game console, and you can actually see where the magazine is. The game cartridge inside the Mastiff is Titanfall 2, Respawn's previous game in this universe. So that's really, really awesome as well. So there we have it, a bunch of Easter eggs you can find in the game right now. Let me know what your opinions are of these Easter eggs, which one's your favorite, and which ones didn't you know about. See you in the comments. Cheerio! Did you know I stream almost every day from 7 PM UK time or 11 AM Pacific Standard Time? You can catch me live right here on YouTube, so make sure you have notifications turned on. I also have a new members program. Become a member for $2.99 a month, get your comments highlighted in videos, get a cool badge in live stream chat, get access to these cute emotes, and also gain access to my members tips videos, where you can ask me for any tips, and I'll be making new videos weekly to help you improve your own game. Click the join button or click the link in the video description to get involved.